We all have learned that we cannot influence our dreams. That's not true. We can. It is full of joy very often. It's a fantastic state. I'm Brigitte Holzinger, and I'm a psychologist and Gestalt therapist. And I've started from the beginning of my career to work with sleep and sleep research because I was very lucky to earn a scholarship for my PhD on lucid dreaming at Stanford University with Stephen LaBerge. And since then, the sleep and sleep research has not let me go, so to say. And this is a while ago.
What inspired you to specialize in sleep research?
Well, it happened actually. I didn't plan for that. And as I said, in my psychotherapeutic training, I learned about Klarträumen by Paul Tholey, which is lucid dreaming, and he was the German pioneer of lucid dreaming and lucid dreaming research. And of course was fascinated from the start with lucid dreaming, or with the possibility to know in your dream that you dream, and that you could face your fears or the secrets, or also change things within yourself, so to say. And to me, it seemed to have yet undiscovered psychotherapeutic potential. And that's how I wanted to do a research project on lucid dreaming, which I did, and that brought me into the field of sleep and sleep research.
What is exactly lucid dreaming? What is the definition? Is it just a realization that you are dreaming?
Well, the way I see it, it needs at least two features. One is that you recognize your dream, you notice that you're dreaming. And the second one is that you also are aware that you have a choice. You could say agency. If you only have the awareness of the choice, or if you only have the awareness of lucidity in your dream, meaning that you know that you're dreaming, I would call that pre-lucid. I only call it lucid if you have both at the same time.
And what are the benefits? Why would anybody do that?
As I said, it's a very new topic still. And I still believe that there is a great psychotherapeutic potential. And in the meantime, since then, which was about, 35 years ago, we were able to show that it does have psychotherapeutic potential via nightmare treatment. But also, it's a fantastic state. You can enjoy your dream very much. It is full of joy very often. You can train yourself for whatever is important for you, like movements. Some train a musical instrument there.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah. And, we're still at the start of developing or finding out what lucid dreaming is capable of and what it can do for us. Some people, when they had a lucid dream, they say that they are so well rested, they could hardly believe it. That is another feature which is interesting when you deal with sleep and sleep problems, that after a lucid dream, people feel much more rested than after regular dreams.
How can we enter the lucid dream?
First of all, it's demanded that you kind of imagine that this is possible and how it would be possible. Because we all have learned that we cannot influence our dreams. And that's false. That's not true. We can. And why shouldn't we? Because it's something that we do every night. And it's a very fascinating state by itself. Then it is a good idea to start keeping a dream journal because it would strengthen your memory, I should say, in and out of the dream. And that is already a very good door opener into the dream world, so to say. And then you proceed with whatever techniques you like. There are several techniques you could do. Paul Toller spoke about Klartraum bewahrende Techniken, also to keep consciousness while falling asleep. And Klartraum gewinnende Techniken. You gain consciousness while you're dreaming. And I prefer the Klarheit bewahrenden Techniken. So I teach how to accomplish lucid dreaming also via, I should say, autosuggestion and via keeping consciousness while falling asleep.
Are there any benefits if someone has no nightmares, no any problems, but still would like to try? Are there any benefits for healthy persons?
To me, it seems that a dream, or the dreaming per se, is pure creativity in a way. And so you can directly access your creativity. And that, I think, is very precious for everybody. You know, you don't have to be having problems in order to gain from lucid dreaming. It's a fascinating state for everybody, really.
Do you think, should we strive for many lucid dreams?
Is it a good idea to strive for having lucid dreams all the time? I'm not so sure about that. I recommend that it is very valuable to have lucid dreams every now and then in order to not become too fanatic. Because I think fanatism is not a good idea, also not for lucid dreaming.
Is it safe?
We don't know about that, to tell you the truth. My view on that is that if you're basically healthy, also psychologically healthy, I think it is safe to train for lucid dreaming. Can we always be sure that we don't have any parts of ourselves that might be destructive in a way or get out of hand? Can we be sure of that? So to be on the safe side, I would recommend to be accompanied by somebody who is an expert in the field or an expert in psychotherapy to give you feedback on how you deal with yourself in your dreams and in your lucid dreams, and to guide you to some extent.
I had the feeling one time that if I was not calm during the lucid dream, it could be possibly a not really nice experience. So I never had a bad one, but this is why I ask about the safety. Because if someone has maybe some stress or whatever, or some psychological issues, and finds themselves in this dream state, it could be terrifying or scary experience. Or you never heard such reports from people?
I have never heard reports like that from my clients, but there is a colleague of mine, Reinhard, who speaks about the lucid nightmare, which I keep wondering about, because if you are really lucid and if you know you have a choice, you could always wake yourself up. So I don't know what he actually is talking about, but he's talking about it.
Do you practice that yourself?
I was very intrigued, of course, at the beginning and wanted to have a lucid dream very much, and I trained for this because I haven't had it spontaneously. Obviously, there are people who have lucid dreams spontaneously in their childhood or later on as well. And I was very happy when I started having lucid dreams, But my research and knowledge of people who have lucid dreams kind of makes me be cautious. So I appreciate very much to have lucid dreams every now and then, as they're wonderful, as they give you great feelings and great possibilities. But I don't train for them to have them all the time. As I said, I don't think it's a good idea to be too fanatic about it. And that applies to myself as well, obviously.
So lucid dreaming is just one of the tools you use. What are other tools, and what is your approach to sleep coaching when you want to improve someone's sleep?
The way I like to see it is that we actually have created sleep coaching 20 years ago. And the reason why we created it was that, of course, I'm a Gestalt therapist by training. And I'm still...
What is that?
It's one method of psychotherapy, Gestalt therapy.
Gestalt.
And it...
is this a German name? Is this a German word?
It's a German word.
And what does it mean?
But it is also a word that has been translated into the English language, like Zeitgeist, for instance. A Gestalt is very complex, but I tried in a nutshell. It's a unit of perception that creates its own meaning. Like a circle could be a Gestalt. And one of the Gestalt laws, because there are laws of perception in Gestalt therapy, it deals very much with how we perceive the world, is that we strive for completion. So if you only see like 3/4 of a circle, you will still see a circle, and that's what a Gestalt is, even though 1/4 is missing, because it is a Gestalt.
So it's kind of like holistic approach to therapy?
It's a holistic approach not only to therapy, but to psychology. It was the first it is also called the first psychology of perception, because the name Gestalt therapy comes from Gestalt psychology, which was the first psychology of perception in Germany until about the Second World War, starting at the end of the century before. And several, mostly psychologists, thought about how come that we perceive the world as it is, and described Gestalt psychology that we're creating while we're seeing, so to say, and kind of trying to make sense and kind of compare what we have already perceived. It's very complicated, I'm sorry, but...
So it's a filtered kind of experiencing?
I wouldn't call it a filter, I would call it a way of how we perceive. You know, we only have this stimuli coming in when we see, but when we see something, it has meaning, and it has color, and it has shape. And we take this for granted, but it really isn't. It's a very complex activity, seeing, for instance.
But this meaning could be different for different people, right?
It could be, and we cannot be sure that it isn't.
But we cannot validate that too easily.
Yeah, we cannot really validate that what you mean when you say blue is what I mean when I say blue.
What is this therapy about? If I come to you and have this therapy, how do we start?
Yeah, well, it's also called the psychotherapy of feelings, or the emotion. So it focuses very much from perception and experience on our feelings, assuming that our feelings make us do things or think certain ways, and so forth. So that is one aspect of Gestalt therapy. Another one is that it would be called the most creative way of psychotherapy. But what is really important, and what we have introduced from Gestalt into our sleep coaching, are sort of several main features of Gestalt psychology or the Gestalt therapy. One is that dialogue is supposed to be very important, meaning as a coach or the Gestalt coach, you try to develop what is necessary or helpful for my client while we speak about it and try to figure it out together, for instance. And of course, many things from Gestalt therapy have been introduced into our everyday life or everyday knowledge, which is, for instance, that we work in the here and now, not in the past, not in the future. And what's also very important in Gestalt, that you always have a choice, so that our clients in sleep coaching would choose from what they could do in order to help them. And that is a very important aspect, because in sleep coaching, on the basis of Gestalt therapy, we incorporate, for instance, cognitive behavioral therapy of insomnia, as it is evidence-based, showing us that psychological measures are as powerful for overcoming, for instance, insomnia as medication would be. And there, it's kind of there are recommendations or things you should do. But in the sleep coaching, the way we have created it, we suggest to our clients what is possible to be done, and then they choose what they like to do. And because we believe that it's easier to actually do it if you have decided for it. Huh?
What would be the most important thing, the difference between your sleep coaching and traditional medical approach?
Sleep coaching is based on psychological measures. We are not excluding, of course, medication. Sometimes medication is great help and heaven sent, so to say, it's necessary for insomnia. But the way we see it, and the way it's being seen now, is that the medication is supporting our psychological measures. This is not just for sleep coaching, true also for the cognitive behavioral therapy. We also have included in sleep coaching, of course, relaxation techniques, even also autosuggestion, also entering
Placebo.
medical hypnosis, the placebo effect, we use it for the treatment of insomnia. And what really is extraordinary, and I think nobody else does it, that we have included dream work and, of course, overcoming nightmares in this complex approach that we call sleep coaching, which, by the way, we are teaching at the Medical University of Vienna. So if somebody wants to become a sleep coach, please approach me.
And anybody can do that? Can I do that without medical or training in any training in sleep?
Well, it is now a master program.
So you need some bachelor?
Definitely a bachelor, and at the moment for the master program, the Medical Association of Austria demands that we only allow for MDs, psychologists and psychotherapists. But we can make some exceptions if somebody is very familiar or has been working in the field of sleep, for instance.
So it's for professionals.
It's for professionals, yes. But at the Institute of Consciousness and Dream Research, we also offer workshops in sleep coaching. And if you're interested, you're more than welcome to participate.
I think about that, to be honest.
That would be
Maybe
nice.
one day I will join. Let's come back to dreaming. What are the nightmares from the science perspective?
Well, the definition is that those are dreams that are burdening the dreamer and that you remember and that impact your everyday life. One way to look at nightmares could be that you assume that this is a dream that has not been able to be finished.
Do they impact the daily life, or is it other way around? They are created or this is just a circle?
It's a circle. It's both ways. It goes both ways. But this is the definition if you want to look it up according to the International Classification of Sleep Disorders.
What can we do to fight them, to have less of them?
I have very good experiences with recommending to my clients that they should keep a dream journal. Write your dreams down in as much detail as possible, and the here and now, as if they would happen now. Because we refrain from interpretation of dreams per se, also from nightmares, and believe that the re-experiencing is what it is that the dream wants from the dreamer. It wants to be acknowledged, it wants to be looked at, and it wants to be entered, and does already something by taking place. And by remembering it and re-entering it in the waking state, kind of, you support what it wanted to do.
Like a pointer, like a signaling something.
Yeah, exactly. And also already helping the dreamer to come from a sensation to an experience that helps the dreamer to grow and to learn. So in a nutshell, you could say that, or I have a tendency to call dreams a small psychotherapy that we have built in ourselves and we do every night. If we can sleep, well, of course, that is a requirement that you sleep enough in order to have dreams.
What does it mean that when someone has repetitive nightmare, that the same nightmare, the same dream for years?
I mean, physiologically, it seems like that dreams are fueled by anxiety, particularly nightmares.
But all the dreams?
We have a high amygdala firing in all REM sleep, assuming that REM sleep is accompanied by dreaming, suggests that all dreams are fueled by fears in some extent. But the extent can vary from just a little, that makes it an adventure, to very much fear in the dream turn it into a nightmare, kind of.
Yeah, very interesting. Because recently I've been thinking that lucid dreaming is great, amazing, but having no lucid dreaming or no dreaming is even better. Because then I feel really rested, even more rested than on regular night. When I also track myself, I track my sleep with heart rate, chest sensor, and it provides me with some information, with the sleep staging. And when I have no dreams and when I see that my REM and my deep sleep are long, then I feel the best. Not because I see the measures, but it's together.
Yeah, well, you could claim that physiologically we are not set up to remember our dreams much.
Or maybe yes, maybe I just don't remember.
Yeah. And that's an interesting thought, because it could mean that if we would remember all our dreams, it would be totally overwhelming, and we would only dream, eat, sleep, because there wouldn't be much more time for other things.
For resting. You mentioned some other techniques. You mentioned medical hypnosis and cognitive behavioral therapy, if I...
Exactly, yeah, which is being included in our sleep coaching. Also, I'm sorry, of course, sleep education is included, because our assumption is, and the way we think is, that we need to know and be educated well in order to work with our clients in a responsible way.
So what is sleep education? It's like for schools or no?
Sleep education means knowledge about sleep, what kind of sleep disorders are there, the neurological approaches, psychiatric approaches, of course, the pulmonary approaches, so that we know also who to refer to if we know that we can't help, like with, for instance, obstructive sleep apnea. Obviously, we have to refer to a specialist as a sleep coach.
Have you seen anyone in your career, anyone with sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea, that benefited from these practices?
Very much, of course, in the sense that we bring people to the awareness that they may have problems breathing.
First of all, yeah.
And that they should go to have the proper treatment for that, of course. But, there is also the combination of insomnia and sleep apnea. And we help or try to help overcome the insomnia part and, of course, collaborate with the sleep labs. And that's very important. We also identify as sort of a turning table for our clients to be referred to the right addresses if medical treatment is also necessary. So we collaborate with psychiatrists, neurologists, pulmonologists, and that's very important.
Okay, awareness is one thing, but what I meant was more, did these practices really helped to improve the state of someone who has sleep apnea, or this is too far?
Sleep apnea has to be treated medically, and it depends on what kind of sleep apnea there is. Of course, there's light, middle, and very explicit sleep apnea, and with sleep apnea that is not as developed, so to say, there could be some benefits also from sleep coaching, because, of course, one recommendation for relaxation is to do sports every day and to look to watch your diet. And somebody with a sleep apnea who is maybe a little bit overweight and loses some pounds could also benefit from that kind of treatment, obviously. Also, the basic sleep hygiene is very important for people with sleep apnea as well. But as I said, if it is sleep apnea that has been diagnosed as such, it needs
medical treatment.
Of course, the medical treatment. And then the sleep coaching could go along and help also support. For instance, getting adjusted to a CPAP device.
What is the impact of modern life on our sleep?
The way we live, we're in a very stressful manner and not very, I should say, self-soothing. We have a tendency to not sleep enough or to not have enough sleep quality. And that impacts us heavily, as we know that sleep is rejuvenating us. I like to say body, mind, and soul, so to say. And if you don't have that, you kind of still function, but you don't live fully and to the extent that you could live and that you could enjoy in your life. So the way we live really favors sleep problems. And I just wrote an article in which I claimed that this would be a future perspective for all of us to come up with living in which we can sleep and dream to the extent we like to do that. And I claim that this would also help us living together in peace.
What would you suggest? The most important factor that if we correct that, improve that, our sleep improve and ultimately the life of us and the society, the one single thing, which is the most impactful?
It may be a bold claim, but I would like to prove that as well. But the hypothesis is that if we dream enough, and if we appreciate our dreams, we appreciate ourselves. And by doing that, we appreciate other people. And we also appreciate that it's only ourselves who can notice and be aware of what the dream wants or wants to do. It would free us from having somebody else who is interpreting our dreams. We would become more independent and ready for a democracy.
What is new for me here is interpretation of the dreams. I never actually thought to contemplate that or to have a journal. That's very interesting, and I think I will try to have one.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, we also have developed a technique for approaching your dreams and getting to know what they want without much interpretation. It's more like re-entering and intuitively understanding. And we call it Dream Sense Memory. We also have an app that is called Dream Sense Memory. It's kind of leading, or that tries to lead somebody into that self-confidence, if you wish.
And what does this do? The app for the mobile?
It's a dream journal, basically, but then it guides you into thinking about what feelings were there, what sensations, how did you sleep, what did you eat or drink before you went to bed, and what might those pictures have to do with your life, past, present, and future.
It sounds like a great idea for an AI app.
Absolutely. AI should be absolutely included. I'm looking for somebody who helps me with that.
Okay, let's talk about it later.
Yeah.
I have one question for you that is asked by a previous guest. So what I do here is I try to connect the interviews to have some link, which goes really nice. And the last guest was actually a researcher, sleep researcher from Sleep Laboratory in Innsbruck, Matteo Cesari. I don't know if you know him.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's amazing. So I will show you the laptop with the recording of him asking the question.
How do you think that artificial intelligence will change your life?
Ooh, I really haven't thought about that. But it will certainly impact sleep research and the way we treat sleep disorders, particularly sleep apnea. AI experts are trying to figure out how we dream and why we dream and what is happening when we dream, because they want a dream machine. Also, they want for machines to be able to learn how to dream, assuming that this would increase the creativity of machines.
What was the most surprising research finding in sleep science that you came across?
Well, the most surprising, I'm not sure, but one very impactful was the discovery of the glymphatic system. You know about that?
Can you repeat?
The discovery of the glymphatic system.
Glymphatic system.
You don't know about that?
I know lymphatic.
It seems like our brains are a little bit shrinking in deep sleep, and that they kind of get rid of what has been used and what is not active anymore, kind of the garbage, if you wish, and that is being placed into the glia system, which is sort of a liquid surrounding our brains. And then it was discovered that it rotates, kind of, or the pulses, and is connected to the lymphatic system. And it is assumed that it's getting rid of the plaque. And it is quite new, and it was discovered about 10 years ago.
So I would like you to ask the question to the next guest. I don't know who that is, who that will be. You don't know either. Just what would you ask the next person?
Do you dream enough?
Thank you for this conversation.
You're welcome.
It was really nice to meet you, and yeah, thank you for the insights. There were many new things for me in this conversation. And if you have anything to add, if you would like to share, if you have any online course or whatever you would like people to see, feel free to tell us more about it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for approaching me. We run our master's program, sleep coaching, at the Medical University of Vienna. And we start in March, and there are 1 or 2 slots free. You could join us. And you'll find the course at the website of the Medical University of Vienna. And we also teach courses online, but also in the practice in the Institute of Consciousness and Dream Research. And you find that on the website www.traum.ac.at. I'm looking forward to meeting you.